Though for KSV, we'll see how they're going to tackle the draft as they shift over to that red side. BBQ going to have their first pick, and the first thing that they want to do is get rid of that Rise.
Crown special. Crown on the Malzahar. Didn't catch too much imagination, so given that Tempt plays it, and they're probably not as respecting of Crown taking it, there's probably not going to be a blue side Malzahar ban. There was insane mid lane bans in the previous game, you'll remember. So we'll see if we see that here in this game as well. Galio Zoe, Vladimir Flex pick, Rise, and Azir all banned in the first round, and that is respect right there. An Alistair ban. Alistair may have been rising in priority, but not to the extent of a first round ban.
Yep. So a lot of respect there by KSV over to Ignar. Does BBQ run down the clock, contemplating the second ban, and it's going to be the Azir yet again. So they want to just go for the same exact bans over again with a Sejuani to round it out.
I wonder if they will continue to put very high price on Kalista or maybe even the Kog'Maw, because there was a Kog'Maw draft in Game 1 that led to that quadra kill for Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, had their choice to go for the Ezreal as well and went for the Kog'Maw.
One of the few teams we have here that would make that decision, but they made it work.
They really made it work.
You definitely do applaud them for playing their own style rather than trying to grip notes from other teams. Final ban is Ornn. We'll see if Cuvée will show us something new. He's still being very stubborn. Still only GP Gnar and Ornn for him this season. So far, the scaling has been punished. I'd like to see Cuvée, if he's going to stay the type, get that Gnar early. Will Gnar be first picked by BBQ? A chance for that? So much left up here. Means it's very interesting when we talk about a first pick. Something like Zoe available. The Gnar is the one that I think KSV would love to have. They already flashed the Gnar, they now move to GP. Are we going to see the reverse matchup here from BBQ?
Quite possibly, but with the Kalista on the board here, they will go ahead and snatch that one up for Ghost this time around. Don't want it in the hands of Ruler, even through the loss.
Something that empowers Ignar. Alistair can kind of do his own hard work, right? He's the sort of champion where he can get around the wards. He doesn't need the Fate's Call, but most of the other supports in the meta need a bit of a helping hand like the Fate's Call to get into the backline. And we always said when Kalista was in the meta, the biggest person to get a buff was the support player because they don't have to think about their positioning. They can be more creative. Creativity plus Ignar. It's a match made in heaven for most League of Legends fans. He is one of our best engaged supports in Korea and around the world. KSV going to have comfort here for Ruler, and we wondered about Crown, who gives up on the Malzahar. He's going to Zoe Town.
All right. So the aggression going to be coming through.
And we're going to see an instant Malzahar.
It's just going to be the Malzahar there for Tempt.
That's the right choice.
In all likelihood.
Malzahar Jarvan, certainly very possible on blue side here. Bono able to make it work on the Jarvan in Game 1, so why not again? Haru is probably thinking about Rengar, you'd have to think.
Just realized this is EU support import versus NA support import.
Some people get really mad about that, but yes, we can call it EU versus NA.
Is EU going to be greater than NA at the end of the day?
Hey, whatever gets more people to watch, man. If we can get the EU and NA fans in here, wake them up, wherever they are, whatever time zone. I'm welcoming it, as Tempt has been a Malzahar main most of this season, and we will see the Nard taken. So, Crazy wants to stay with the pushing top lane in most matchups. Do we just see the gangplank taken here by Cuvée? Run it one more time, but the Rengar, like I mentioned, you just knew it was coming, you know? It's Haru playing himself back into the team. You already have a very strong siege comp with Ezreal and Zoe, but you make it a pick comp with the Rengar because you hit a trouble bubble at the right time and Rengar's there to profit. People dying fast is the approach that KSV is going to take here, so instant aggression from Haru in the jungle.
Certainly what they would like. We go into the second round of bans here. Zac off the board.
Zac Jarvan is probably going to be the bans on red side just to deny reliable initiation. That's what we're probably expecting to see. We'll see what BBQ makes of the draft. KSV looking for a support, but also a top laner. Could just ban Gangplank and just not allow that scenario to show up. But for now, they're going to deal with what's strung into Gnar, and Camille definitely comes into mind there.
Off the board, and like you said, the J4 will be the second ban by KSV, so going to be seeing Bono on something new. As we go into the second match, we'll see what he's going to bring out with, Sejuani, Zac, and J4 all off the board.
And Rengar taken away. Could go for the Kha'Zix, bit of a skill matchup.
Is available.
The final ban here from the side. It's just going to be Braum. So this ultra comfort denied from the side of Core JJ. Could return to Tarek if he wants. But initiation would be appreciated here. Tom Kench also could be considered on the side of KSV. Nice answer to the Malzahar. See what the decision is made. Probably going to be the support at this pick. Yeah, Tom Kench makes the most sense. We'll be locked in. Will QV be bringing us something new? That's kind of the most interesting thing to think about with KSV, because it could just be a last pick gangplank.
Yeah.
Playmaking denied in the form of Alistair, but the other staple this season has been the Shen. He's going to at least consider. BBQ, how do they want to round out this draft? Bono, thinking about really making it all about the battle warding. It looks like the Nidalee will be locked in. Okay, so it's a siege tool for a comp that's more about the team fight. Can still be Kha'Zix-esque if the Malzahar ultimate and the spear both hit. Seems like he wants to tussle with Haru, which, when he's on the Rengar, I don't want that job if I'm Bono.
I mean, he's already gone in, taken down Ambition. So it seems like he's got the confidence to go ahead and play out with the Nidalee, even though it hasn't been the most reliable pick out of the jungle for, even the masters of that champion.
Hey!
Peanut starting things off, and there we go! Ignar showing respect to the man across the arena. The Blitzcrank will be coming through.
The hover was there in game one, and then when Mad Life is on guest Korean commentary, we get one of his most famous picks of all time, trying to make the Blitzcrank work. So far, 4 good hook targets on the side of KSV. Core JJ doesn't want to opt into another one. We'll go for the Maokai. But this is the sort of game where Blitzcrank can do a lot of playmaking. We see Ignar again on comfort for him. It's a different type, and will we see one of those sick hook into Fate's Call plays to extend the range of the hook? So much playmaking. The Kalista opens up riskier supports. Doesn't get much more risky than the Blitzcrank.
No, it does not, but the Ballista ready to go. Let's see if BBQ can arm this thing and pull it off. That could be devastating to the ranks of KSV if they can get ahead. But if they fall behind, if this Blitzcrank, if Ignar cannot hit those hooks, probably going to game 3.
Oh, it's worse news. I mean, Nidalee from behind also a big query. So definitely some big struggles here if KSV can ramp up their early game. And Haru in the lineup, at least in theory, should represent that. Crazy going to be in lane dominant fashion against the Maokai, and matchup as old as time. But this is the interesting one. Bono could have gone Kha'Zix, but goes for the Nidalee. Trying to really punish here. Invade very early. Mid lane going to be largely non-interactive, sadly, but with the Malzahar being locked in, but made sense after the early Zoe. And because of the first pick Kalista, Ignar could go to that extended bench. He found a robot, and that means we're all going to be the benefactors of the Blitzcrank coming back.
All right, well, here we go, guys. This one from, potentially a semi-ignorable series with BBQ struggling, now putting Bono in, now beating KSV in game 1. Now we have the Blitzcrank with Mad Life in the arena. The hype is exploding in this room. Let's go ahead and jump onto the rip for game number 2. See if BBQ can get themselves a 2-0.
Full zoom.
Oh, yeah.
It's his skin as well.
Yep. Paying a lot of respect to Mad Life, but look at this KSV going for an invade. Typically want to avoid the Blitzcrank in this situation, but with all 5 of them, not a whole lot that he'd be able to do, but they do not find him.
5-man invading a Blitzcrank is usually a very common strategy because it denies the 5-man Blitzcrank engage from ruining your day. You never want to go 5-point defense against a Blitzcrank because that's a recipe to die at level 1. KSV now re-invading their top side because that's usually where the vision trades happen. As the BBQ fans definitely going to be feeling good. They're woken up after their chicken comas.
She is ecstatic. She wants more screen time.
We just want more Blitzcrank. Maybe level 2 onwards, we'll be able to get some more, as we hear that she's come a long way to watch the games. That's great to see. Of course, most of our fans are in the Greater Seoul area, very dense place, but people come from Busan and Gwangju and other places like that to watch League of Legends, and even though it's not summer, the action has been hot here. Late invade by Ruler and Core JJ, but not going to be able to contest the red. And I want to talk a little bit about Bono, who in game one, you know, we wouldn't talk about him much. We talked a lot about Ignar, obviously, a great playmaker in that game. But coming in and facing Ambition, you know, the guy who is at the center of our intro, who is a world champion and such an emotional storyline, and playing like the streets have no name. The nameplates were off for him in game one, and that was cool. And now he's against Haru as well. So coming in and being able to play your own game and draft Nidalee against Haru's Rengar deserves respect to Kilios. And how the game actually goes, that's going to unfold. But I'm really excited to see a talent that clearly believes in himself, which is the first start towards becoming something special.
Also excited to see how Ghost is going to be handling this bot lane with the Kalista coming in for himself. Really preferred that Cogmaw there in game number 1. We saw Rulers struggling to be impactful. Now backed up with this Blitzcrank. If this is a practice strategy by BBQ and not just something that they have tossed together because Mad Life is in the building, then I'll be damn impressed if they pull off the Ballista well.
You know that in scrim time, Ignar is putting up his hand and saying, what about Blitzcrank, to his coach. When I saw him on the first day, I asked him about some Blitzcrank, and he said, well, my team doesn't think it's very good. We don't know how to run it against the tank supports, but with what was already drafted, there were 4 good hook targets. Even Tom Kench is not a bad hook target.
Well, Ignar just went for one right there, but see the first miss coming through is KSV is just pushing in, getting rid of at least the big Krug.
Counter jungling and Nidalee is a team effort, as you can see. Wants to get the drop on the Nidalee, and because he has vision supremacy, this is the right side of the jungle to be on for the Rengar. If he gets the first leap in, probably going to win any damage trade with the Nidalee. I see both of them backing away. Respectful from both players at this point.
Crown getting a little angsty there in the mid lane, pushing up into the face attempt. Trying to do that now while he still can and not have to worry about the Nether Grasp. See how quickly he wants to go for the QSS, or if he's just going to be Cleanse reliant.
I expect to see Haru, from his first purchase of a longsword, go for a straight Duskblade first rather than finishing his full jungle item. Now, still a chance that you go for Warrior depending on gold timings, but a lot of junglers, Rengar especially, do try to skirt over the investment into, you know, jungle clear and wards and the like. Go for a lot of damage early, so seems like what we're probably going to see from Haru. It allows him to combat the Nidalee better, and it's a squishy lineup from BBQ. Even the Mininar early in the game is going to be very squishy, so combat stats so important for Rengar, who probably knows he's going to be battling against Nidalee. One level under for now, but a single camp will finish that gold lead and make it all even. Experience lead, I should say. So he comes back. Unsealed Spellbook only on 1 member on the side of KSV, and while we've seen Unsealed Spellbook Kalista, Ghost focused on the Ren sets, and Teamfight means that only 2 for the side of BBQ.
Nice little trade there for Cuve. Coming in with the Maokai versus the Gnar. Very much can be a brutal matchup. See, he's already down about a 14 CS as he catches the rest of those minions underneath the turret.
Imagine Frozen Heart will be the pickup the moment that you see a Kalista. It's very likely on the Maokai. Sunfire Cape was buffed and expected to be the choice in a lot of matchups. We haven't seen a lot of Sunfire Cape in the LCK. I believe it's been built once in all of our games on a Shen. Looking at Mad Life, 9-1. Mad, he alone, buffing up that win total. Without his numbers, that would be significantly worse. It would be 14 wins and 26 losses.
Haru right now looking for the gank. We'll find Crazy. It's the hop out, puts a little bit of damage in onto the Gnar, but not going to be forcing any flashes. But yeah, Mad Life made this champion essentially. Blitzcrank.
And also,
a name.
you have to think of the era as well. Like a lot of that famous mid lane.
Oh yeah, that's going to be the Nether Grass Spear going to connect in onto Crown as he goes low, flashes away, pops the heal, but it doesn't even matter. The chase comes through. And Bono, unfortunate for Crown, is not locked up underneath the turret. You can see some frustration there on Crown's face.
It causes to get your heart out because of the range there. The spear hitting and the guaranteed engage. Great communication again between Tempt and Bono. That's what we're learning. These two have better communication than we've seen demonstrated by Trick and Tempt. Tempt is this long-time star. He really is the breakout star in waiting on the side of BBQ. So great stuff there. Great synergy between mid and jungle. Gets them a nice lead. And
the hook into the punch. Where JJ does have the Devour. We'll spit Ruler out. And he'll be okay for now.
Script being rewritten about this game. Not often that we see Blitzcrank lanes actually getting power in the laning phase. And Ezreal, of course, has the ability to override the hook with the Arcane Shift, and he's also got a Time Kench. So Ezreal dying in lane seems impossible, but getting chunked out gives them lane control, and that's a start for BBQ.
Well, Ignar wants to make the impossible possible here. See if he can find his opening. But, I mean, already rough stuff here for Crown. You can see just how frustrated he seemed with himself. Some days are better than others, but this is looking like one of the weaker ones here for him.
Didn't opt into the QSS rush. Went for Lost Chapter first for lane control. Now working towards the QSS, and we saw QSS rushed last game from Tempt. Ultra respectful against the Malzahar. So there was a window. It was expertly exploited. And he finds himself in this situation with summoners down as a Zoe. You ain't got nothing going on. They want more. They want to potentially dive her or contest the blue.
Yeah, TP coming in here from Ignar. He's going to be on the sidelines.
Holds up, but no flash for the Malzahar. Yeah, for now it's just going to be the invade onto the blue buff.
We'll just assist that as Bono takes that down. Ignar starting to wrap around the back, has the double control ward, knows
That's
that
a
he
very
has been
suspicious
spotted.
control ward. You do not want to clear against a Blitzcrank who's missing. Do not clear it. Free information, chat. You see that one, get out of there.
Hunter lays a trap. Here we go. Ignar zipping his way in, looking
Got
to close the
flash.
distance. Does have the flash, goes in for it, lands it, popped up, nether grasp, everything layered on top. Crown will go down.
Crown looks tilted.
Yeah.
Understandably, but there was a lot of information available there he did not need to be showing in lane. He showed, and well punished with flash up from the Blitzcrank.
I mean, it's the little things that give you away when you're being frustrated, but Crown is just kind of laying it out there to, perfectly visible to anybody watching.
But this is Crown, right? And he's already had multiple videos with all these sports and interviews where he's talked about the fact that he does wear his heart on his sleeve. This guy does train very hard. He's the hard worker compared to some of the natural talents that we see also make it far. But he's a world champion. But, of course, he mentioned in his interview he didn't get a lot of personal satisfaction from that because his own performance by most analysts was seen to be in isolation to be quite lackluster. So, he feels like he wants to show him again, assert himself this season. That's why you see him feeling personally frustrated that with no QSS down, he's basically free food on a 90-second cooldown.
Rough so far here with the Zoe, but despite having died twice, is at least keeping up in CS, keeping his head above the water, but that is going to be Tempt coming out with gold advantage, kill and an assist under his belt so far.
And if Blitzcrank can continue to roam, which is something that I'm sure Crown is saying, hey, we need bot side jungle control, doesn't really matter about the QSS, because if the hook comes in afterwards or before, silence comes through, it's actually very difficult to get away from Malzahar and Blitzcrank. Even like the 0.5 seconds worth of time before you press QSS might be enough for the hook to register, and then you're still dead. So no guarantees for the side of KSV and BBQ. Their job is just to clear wards on the bot side, stop the reinforcements. The double control ward they had earlier fishing for a hook still got them a hook in a different place than we first anticipated. So the gameplay is largely around, can you keep Ignar accountable, or will he keep roaming to make mid lane a real fire for KSV?
Tempt, I believe, with the Nethergrass back up. Can start threatening Crown again. He's got the flash up this time around in the QSS. But like you said, those timings, those very minute ones, can make or break your play.
And all of this, we have never mentioned that it's Snar versus a Maokai. So going to be pushing in, lane control, top side. And Haru, I think he really needs to find a way to pose a threat. He ended up going Warrior Enchant, already has it complete, does a lot of damage with assists. To me, the best way for KSV to actually turn the style on is to gank bot lane with 5, which with Rengar and a Maokai teleport is quite a reliable proposition for them to look for. But for that, we need them to find red side control. We want to see a deep ward for the Maokai to teleport. It's a multi-step process in a vacuum. Rengar's farming, Maokai's slowly losing lane, and they're going to lose the Rift Herald as well.
Haru hasn't really found any avenues of approach so far.
I think he's surprised and impressed by the Nidalee pick as well, because Nidalee has had a lot of impact on the map. Are we seeing a new jungle star emerge out of nowhere? It's not a player that I talked to a lot of Korean pros and asked, do you know much about Bono? And jokes aside, they didn't have much to say. So him coming in, showing a champion pool of largely combative picks, Peanut-esque in his champion pool at least so far, is really cool to see. Is Ignar's teleporting, but this one's not imminently for a gank, you'd imagine.
Ward's going to come over the wall.
Control ward spot there. by the ward being controlled. Lets him know that probably someone's lying in wait to kill him.
More than likely was expecting Bono, but now that Ignar's been out of the lane for so long, they can safely assume that it was the Blitzcrank roaming his way up. Ignar coming over, looking for the hook perhaps, but
it just stops back.
Find it.
Pressing W stopped it back, so that's still a mini win there for the side of BBQ, who are, basically up in CS with the Blitzcrank. You don't see that very often, but able to do that. Well, just defaulting to first item Iceborne Gauntlet for the ability to push in and maybe open up some more space, slow down the oncoming of the Blitzcrank. It's very standard, but smart. What's the next step, though, for BBQ? Because we talked about it, Achilleos. Tempo draft from them. With Nidalee, with a Blitzcrank, you're only really as strong as your control vision line. If you're getting invaded, both these champions are pretty damn useless. So they need to keep it up. Great start by them, but sadly, if you're a Blitzcrank player, you're only as good as your last hook. And for Nidalee, you really need to crash the base early. Otherwise, late game teamfighting role can be a struggle.
Vision getting cleared out here. Ignar throws one over the wall, but will find a control ward.
Rift Herald was placed a long time as Haru.
Yeah, jumping in, looking for Bono. Will force that flash, goes back in. Punch comes through from Ignar. And Haru's going to go ahead and pop the ultimate as they try to find
prediction
Bono
hook
here, but not going to be finding any kills there.
Ignar looked for a prediction hook, but Haru had already disengaged. Ult used for no gain. No items purchased for Ghost, who's got the boots too, and most of a Blade of the Ruin King. So for now, teamfight not as strong as blue buff steal.
Yeah, blue buff coming through, and the spear's right there. Bono takes it away. Nicely done here by Ignar yet again.
Shouts of glee from the Korean cast. That was probably Mad Life that time. He remembers the feels. Again, it is the Mad Life skin. This is the skin he would always use. This Piltover Customs Blitzcrank was his skin in competitive play. Not made for him, but certainly molded by him.
It may as well have been.
Very common skin in solo queue because a lot of players took their inspiration to play Blitzcrank from Mad Life, especially those old fogies like me.
Well, this is just a big middle finger to QV, who's been having a rough time. We'll spawn that Rift Herald up top and knock down the turret. Make his life a bit more complicated. Let's try to get the freeze so he can continue farming. But that's going to be first brick going over to BBQ.
I mean, BBQ just want to wrap this up before Sunday Bloody Sunday. They just want to get it done today. Is what they're trying to do. A 2-0, go home, just like we saw Kingzone do in the previous game. So far, they've kept up the pace. They have first brick. They took the Rift Herald. Infernal has spawned. That's the interesting one. If they find a way to get Infernal, then things are rolling on all cylinders. But now, top lane is longer. Now, Vision can be placed by KSV to get that teleport ward or Abyssal Voyage. Spot lane.
That's going to be Ghost and Ignar going in for the play here. So far, targeting out Core JJ, trying to work him low. Plenty of Ren stacks thrown into the Tom Kench. Looking a bit of damage in, but the Nethergrasp now jumping in over onto Ruler as he takes that hit from Bono. But he can't quite jump in to get the finish. Nice paddle star there to connect into the Nidalee, also dissuades him from going further.
Now one chunked out enough to stop a contest coming around the Drake, though. Health bar is pretty high. Watch that water bottle, Achilleos. You almost killed him on it.
Yeah, whoops. Dropped that by accident. We can see Haru and Core JJ waiting in the wings. Ghost and Ignar starting to kite back, however. Wave pushing forward. Ignar, he's going to go looking for it. Gets the hook, but they might have just taken the bait. The Devour comes through from Core JJ, and now Ignar is going to be made a fool. He goes down. First kill on the board for KSV.
They knew that there was no ultimate available by Ghost. That time KSV is ahead of the play. Maybe for the first time this series, took 15 minutes into game 2. But read Ignar like a book. Also exposed that the ultimate, the Fate's Call, was down. That was an outplay by KSV.
Ghost now going low, but still going to be okay here for the moment.
Ruler
want to go super aggressive here.
I mean, he wants to threaten it, right? He wants to ensure there's no safety for Ghosts. We can see that Nidalee is shadowing around the area. Was at the cost of it's not Rift, the Infernal Drake at the same time as well. So
yeah.
KSV went in 2 spots. Just reading the play and also reading the player. The thing you have to remember is that a lot of people can lock in Blitzcrank, but you already know that Ignar is going to be looking for those little edges. He's going to try to really stretch a lead, and in that case, his tendencies were well used against him by KSV.
Well, KSV finally gaining something back. Still down in gold. But the deeper we go into this game, it's not that significant at the moment. That's a minion. And that's awkward. Doesn't find the connection there that time around.
A lot of Aegis build from Bono, so he clearly wants to go leaping into the backline at least once in a team fight, rather than a more squishy build. With Ardent Censer nerfed, we're not seeing the Ardent Censer and Athene's Unholy Grail builds that were very common in solo queue around Worlds. We thought we'd see at least a little bit of Nidalee at the World Championships, but weren't really treated to it. Now Rod of Ages in a more typical AP build. Could still see an Athene's at some point. It's Bono's Rengar hunting.
Yeah, he's just going to get ripped apart. Nice little chunk there. Bono so far showing some pretty good accuracy with the spears.
It's what KSV...
Most of them have been pinned down to the Nethergrass, but yeah.
That's fair. I mean, you can only hit the ones that you're presented the opportunity to, right? But want to make mention that QV opting into Maokai, try to reinforce engage, has meant that with nothing happening topside, BBQ have grown a lead in a lane that the Nidalee didn't have to gank. That's always the best, is when someone's winning and Nidalee is all over the map. You're winning in 2 areas, so crazy there. Has gone standard in the matchup. The Rift Herald ended early. End result is red side control is gone. Rengar is being predictable, well held so far, as he might consider a lane gank here.
That's good. I was just thinking, like, I'll go crazy if Haru doesn't gank crazy tonight at some point. He's been just running away with this one.
Music now rolling into lane. Bot lane should go further and further to the side of Ezreal Tahm Kench. No Ren set potential just yet. But both red buffs taken by BBQ lets you know that they're still in control of the map. Not to the tune their comp needs to be, but at least so far, not with any true mistakes. The Infernal not being picked up certainly counts against them. Another Infernal spawning. They give up both of those, and you are inviting that big comeback from KSV. And Crown also has stayed competitive in CS even after his 2 deaths. Clearly had a visible effect on him.
I mean, we've seen it so many times. Even if their backs were against the wall, BBQ, that one hook, that one kick from something like a Lee Sin. There's always that X factor moment where it can turn everything around and suddenly just lead to a game finishing. Ground flashing away. So if that spear connected, the Nethergrass would have been there immediately.
The max range slow, actually, from the Spooky Ghost was what facilitated the spear almost hitting. It's out of dodge, but flash down and lane control down. It's the reality for the Zoe. Zoe's recently struggling, Kilios. We had the true one-shot from Grace with his sweet hat from Ornn upgrade, doing incredible damage and one-shotting an Ezreal. But since then, things haven't been working so well for the Zoe.
That was a near perfect prediction right there from Ignar, but just a few pixels off from getting the hook onto Ruler. He had Flash and Arcane Shift up, so actually killing him still would have been a bit complicated, but it certainly would have forced him back away from the turret and made taking this a lot easier.
Trying to pile down a lane. Notice there are no deep wards for Maokai to teleport onto. Of course, not full information available to BBQ, but...
You'd have to just be the control in the river there by Dragon Pit. Another hook comes through. This time he finds him into the Nether Grasp. And he gets taken down 3-1. BBQ pushing forward, and that should be the turret.
Yeah, everything was up, but seemed to get surprised by the hook. Instant silence, suppression, goodbye. They'll get the turret. They skip a step because of the reliability of Ignar on this Blitzcrank. This Ballista comp starting to come together, Kilios.
It really is. Ignar having those nice hits and attempt being right there for the Nethergrass is exactly what they needed to be able to take out the Ezreal.
Somehow, a Nidalee Blitzcrank comp is becoming more of a siege terror than an Ezreal Zoe comp. That is what happens when you have a player as skilled on these edge-of-the-meta champions like Ignar. If you're keeping him in lane, if you're keeping cooped up, you're winning against Ignar. Many teams have found that out already this season, but no such joy for KSV this game.
Might not be much joy at all for them. Just 2 things to their credit so far. 1 kill and the Infernal Drake. No turrets have been taken.
Also consider that there's what? A better part of a 5,000 gold lead. 2,500 gold worth of stats is QSSs, right? Largely for the cleanser effect on that. So we're talking about effectively about 8,000 gold lead, or at least 7,500-ish gold lead for the side of BBQ. So it's bigger than it appears, even if Ezreal is pretty damn powerful at 2 items, and Muramana was just transformed as I made that point.
Seeing build here from Ghost, went straight for the Blade of the Rune King, then pit stopped in for the Zeal and then got the last Whisper as well. Hook comes through, but Portal Jump
that interaction, oh boy.
Just shoots him away, and Ignar takes a ton of damage here. Fate's Call will be drawn out. Haru arriving now, announcing his presence into the mid lane as that True Shot Barrage will connect, but it's not enough damage to finish him off.
A reminder to all the fans at home that the Portal Jump will always return, even through a hook, to the original spot. So we can actually see a bit of creativity there.
This is exactly what KSV need, but you can see BBQ are not going to be handing this one over without a fight. TP's coming through from Ignar. As the Dragon goes down to about half HP, will leash back into the pit. You see Juve throwing down the ultimate. Crazy going to go ahead and eat that up. That's going to be the Infernal going over to KSV, so now have 2 Infernals to their name.
And it definitely puts a bit of a timer on the game, because right now, 16% of QSSs and defensive purge is not a lot, right? But later on, that damage will start rolling. So we already said, team comp-wise, ahead in the late game is KSV. Now the Infernals make it to the nth degree.
Well, BBQ at least did knock down that first turret here in the mid lane, had the inside track after the Dragon went down. So not going to be losing an objective without anything to gain as we see the Nethergrass come through into the punch, into the grab. KSV going to get silenced, still managed to get the shield off, but a fat Ren here from Ghost might have been able to kill him, but actually he makes it out of range in time. Now Ghost has to go golden. Crown just absolutely obliterates him. Cube going in, twisted advance, gets the lockdown in onto Bono. He's completely surrounded, tries to jump away, tries to heal himself, but can't do anything at all. And Crown just comes up with 2. And just like that, KSV have turned the game on its head. They have 35 seconds of Nidalee being dead. They might be looking for Baron.
Oh, certainly, Achilles, and they baited themselves in there. Did BBQ, thought it was a free kill on a Tahm Kench. Everything dumped into Tahm Kench men. Then when the turn happened, they had nothing. Turning on to Baron, Haru got the honey fruit, so getting healthier. BBQ were able to turn this around before, but there's no AD carry, so it looks tricky.
Crazy. As the Meganar ready to go, jumping away, will get slept in the middle of that one. Hook over the wall, does find the Rengar, and that is going to be Haru going down now, looking to turn things around. Start into the wall, Crown's been taken out. He'll go into Mininar as Crazy does get picked off by Ruler. But they pick up 2 kills, and they stop the Baron. Great turnaround by BBQ. I mean, sacrifice of Crazy.
Not getting the hook onto Crown bought them so much. No Baron damage, no Baron turn. If Crown lives, they can do that. Infinitum Achilles, just do it again and again with a trouble bubble when someone comes to contest. But hitting it onto Crown was the true awesome super play here. But anyway, watch the replay. Watch the hook onto the Rengar, I should say, sorry. They took out Haru from this. Such a Crazy that was the one who took down Crown. But either way, that's the smite gone first, and then the champion that allows for turns gone first. So really nice stuff there from the side of BBQ.
I really hope that we can get Mad Life down to the interview booth after this, and BBQ can close it out. I would love for him to pick Ignar's brain.
He's going to be on weekly LCK afterwards. Hopefully that's got subtitled, because they're definitely going to pick his brain on his signature champ getting picked in and played to this degree.
Well, BBQ goes from, I mean, what a roller coaster right there. It's looking like a catastrophe. And then all of a sudden turn it right back around, all because of Ignar, and that's what I was talking about. That's the X factor, that one hook that can turn a fight, can turn a game on its head.
That was with the Rengar, the Zoe, the Ezreal, and the Tahm Kench locked in, and we haven't seen Blitzcrank versus Tahm Kench, but it's working out a treat in this particular game. All of them great hook targets. Only Maokai is really getting a free initiation with the hook, so comes a timing for the Blitzcrank with a Kalista, and against this comp, it's about the best you could expect.
Another hook coming through, but this time not going to get the connection. Ruler will be allowed to walk away. Double bubble also going to go just a bit short.
Gold lead still around 6,000, but the damage items start to register for KSV, and the Infernal starts to cut into that effective gold lead.
Little jump coming through there. Bono going to get slept up. No way for the follow-up there. Ignar yet again going for the hook, barely misses. As he's going to be in the front line. Fate's Call comes out, will keep him alive, at least for the moment, as the Abyssal Voyage gets completed. Twisted Advance comes through into the Nethergrass, but immediately in onto Cube as they try to burn him down. Devour there at the last second by KSV. Tries to keep him alive, and the Malefic Visions from Temps will take him down in the end, and now BBQ, smelling blood in the water, might be looking to go on the aggressive yet again. Crazy does get slapped, and too much poke damage coming through from the Zoe, from Ruler, so BBQ will have to go ahead and play back.
So have the kill profile one. Oh ho! That was a Devour.
Yeah, dangerously close there. Stopwatch going to deny the kill, and Ignar should live to fight another day.
These fights are so flashy, but they're even, and because the health bars aren't high, BBQ can't take an objective even after killing the super tank of Maokai. So the damage profile is still enough to take down Maokai at this point in the game, but they don't gain anything from all of this. From another kill as Ignar's going deep.
It's just a game of inches. So many things
barely
connecting and barely missing as we do see them start up this Baron. TP is going to be coming through from Crown to try to join in. Hook initially going to miss as they turn onto Core JJ, trying to burn him down.
This seems like a mistake. They're still on the Baron.
Still onto this one. They have the Ren stacks ready to go, and that might be why they're still sticking around, but you can see them getting poked down. Bono low, Crazy as well, down to half HP. They have to peel back as the Trouble Bubble connects in. Paddle Star will hit onto Ignar as he body blocks.
Team effort there. Stop the Paddle Star from one-shotting, which it was looking like it might have Achilles that time. You get the ultra extended range. You just put in your head over 1,000 and just plug and play to see what happens from there. But nothing gained from the single kill, and not map position on the Infernal either might mean that despite how the early game has gone, BBQ have to find a way to stop KSV coming out with a losing first 30 minutes, but 3 Infernals within that loss.
Seems like the likelihood of this has gone up significantly, the amount of times that we've seen Triple Infernal as of late.
I'll take it.
Oh, I'm perfectly
Anything
happy
to make
with
the
it.
damn teams fight outside the base. Apparently Baron buff is not enough, so more fighting the better.
Yeah, I'm quite all right with that. So is going to be spawning here in about 10 seconds. Not much vision thrown down by either side in that area. Nard zipping his way around the Trouble Bubble, doesn't want to get locked up. Doesn't have his TP available, so that if he gets poked out, that's going to be a pretty easy objective here for KSV without the threat of the Blitzcrank.
A lot of space for them to juke around, hooks and spears alike. So far, good terrain. Crazy in a ward. His Mega Gnar timing is starting to time out.
Yeah, not going to be the greatest here. KSV could just try to slow things down. Crazy, maybe looking to go in, but he's going to be losing the Mega Gnar. Spear coming through, they get the lockdown. It seems like that's going to be another one. Triple Infernal going over to KSV. Gnar gets the silence. Cube chunked out. Crazy going to get slept. Paddlestar's coming through. They're going to try to pop him. They'll get the Guardian Angel, and very likely the kill.
They get to fight front to back, and that means there's no answer from BBQ. The phase where it was going to become so difficult for them to play has now started. They're able to use the Trouble Bubble for picks. And BBQ trying to once again provoke chaos. It's harder to do when the easy objectives are down.
Another Trouble Bubble connecting there on attempt, but he'll be okay. Himself out of there. Hook comes through onto Core JJ. He does have the flash, but the Nether Grasp isn't going to give him the opportunity. He gets taken down.
Need to find a way to turn these single picks into more. Able to push up the minion wave. Core JJ down for 30 seconds. Can also Abyssal Voyage part of the way back. And they have crazy teleports in 13 seconds. So
there we go again.
I think it's Baron start time. They can't clear the vision. I think they're just going to rush it down here, even though Rengar is in the area.
They're going to be looking for it here. Crown going to start opening up with a siege. Tries to throw on the Paddle Star, but the Voidlings are going to eat the brunt of that. Cube throwing in the ultimate. Will be wrapping in from the side as the Baron gets lower and lower. Smite has been used. Looking for the Ren down below 2K. True Shot Barrage comes through. That's going to be the Ren. They get it for the side of BBQ. Can they make it out with their lives? Cube jumping forward, takes down one as Ghost falls. Ignar also eliminated. Nethergrass comes through. The spear not going to connect, and just like that, 3 members gone. Only 2 buffs remaining as Haru starts poking in from the side. But just like that, KSV gaining here with the kills. Haru going to get jumped on, goes low. The spear not going to connect, tries to get over the wall, but Crazy finishes him off with the ultimate. Now Core JJ comes in with the Abyssal Voyage, tries to get the tongue lash, but can't quite get the connection.
So it ends up being a 1 for 3, but they got the Baron buff with it. Taking the Baron buff off the map is pretty good for the side of BBQ, who have struggled to get anything after they got their last couple picks. Watching this, they put all the trust in the Ren. Watch the smite super early at 3,500 just to allow the Ren to come in. Does it at 728. So ended up playing with fire a little bit there. They can't fight front to back. That's not how this draft works. The Nara's not in position to make it happen. Unable to turn onto Crown either because the QSS this time is enough for him to get out. They get a kill on Haru afterwards, which is a little bit icing, a cherry on the cake, but they get the Baron. That honestly, it felt like KSV was going to problem solve their way to by just their superior 5v5 fighting comp. The Baron only lasts 2 minutes. The 3 Infernals are forever. So let's see if BBQ can actually piece together another objective. They need to crack the base, ideally with this Baron, but with only 2 minutes left and their lanes not necessarily in order, looking tricky.
Yeah. Need to get into that position. every breaking wave, the minions, you are just pushing further and further in, chipping down those turrets.
Let's talk about how Ignar is Ghost Flash QSS Righteous Glory Blitzcrank. We know exactly what he wants to do. Everything here on the hook, which is the reason why you picked the champion. But with this setup, very reminiscent of Ming, who in the LPL for RNG went for the Ghost Flash Alistair. Means that between Boots and Mobility, Ghost and Righteous Glory, you ain't outrunning.
He is rolling the dice. That is certainly what he's going for here.
It does mean no lock. It does mean no redemption. It does mean no team utility. But if one person dies, 5v4, they start throwing spears, they can potentially look for a way to dive a turret and end the game. So there is a cost to this. They do not have Face of the Mountain and the team-wide shield of the Locket. But Faith in the God Hand took Mad Life a long way. And it's trying to be Ignar doing the same.
Well, if they close this out, God bless your solo queue.
Prediction there from Ignar, didn't have vision in the area.
Trying to find the hook. They have the bot lane moving up right now. Crazy. Trying to keep QV contained. You can see he's not really chunking him out at all as far as the health bar is concerned. Just trying to move the wave up.
Fighting in this area, though, is perfect for BBQ. It's basically skirmishes, because if one person is hooked over a wall, there's no 5v5.
It's just been such a long delay, though. Only 30 seconds left onto the Baron. Now getting in underneath the turret. You see the ultimate coming through. Trouble Bubble connects in onto Ignar as he misses the hook. Fate's Call will drag him out. They didn't even finish off the turret.
Nope. Very difficult for them to do so. They're respecting so many different things. But right now, KSV, who are down 6,000 gold, feels like 15 minutes ago, are still down 6,000 gold. The lead has not grown for the side of BBQ.
For another one, he's going to find Ruler this time around. They have the Nether Grassman. Goodbye, good night, Ezreal. You're out of there.
QSS too early as well, so wasn't able to get out of the suppression.
Spear connects there on a core. JJ has to use the shield, pushes them back down the lane. The bot lane of KSV getting destroyed. The stopwatch buying a little bit more time, but honestly, probably would have been better to just hold on to it there for the Tom Kench.
They want to break an inhibitor right here.
Two members dead. Yeah, they're going to be looking for that at least. They should be able to get it. The fight starts after the Baron goes down, and that's when BBQ finds success.
I mean, that's when the hook comes in, and Ruler was panicked. He used the QSS too early and went down. Nice little burst comes through.
Now that'll put a stop to the push there.
But hey, an inhibitor means a couple more picks, 2-3 inhibitors, and the game may end without a 5v5 that BBQ will struggle to win.
Yep.
So,
and it's on the far side of the map from the Baron.
Watch the replay here, and watch the QSS from Ruler. Goes for the hook. QSS too early and does just eat the entire ultimate from Malzahar. Small mechanical mistake. We've got Mad Life here, so we've got to talk about Captain Jack there. No Captain Jack happening on the QSS. And from there, what did I say? Get a pick, and then, hey, turret dive. 5v4 if the Gnar is tanking the turret. You can do a lot of things. Inhibitor down, and now KSV realized one hook may decide the game from this pot onwards.
Yep. Haro able to trade something back here as KSV finds their second turret of the game in the top lane. Just that. And mid so far, all that's been taken. See Crazy here. Guardian Angel has come back up for him.
Ignar has remembered he's a support, and now is going towards the Locket.
Yes, I should help my team.
I mean, he's helping his team, just in a different way.
Yeah. I should offer some utility, is what he has realized here. As the spears just keep on flying. Core JJ eating a couple of those.
In Islaj Rod, the last purchase here after the Athene's Unholy Grail, so a bit of healing, but largely about spear damage.
Body block coming through there. Another hook comes through, now looking for Cuvee. They get over the wall, keeps himself alive and well for the moment. As he gets burned down to half HP as I say that.
Malzahar not ulting that time. Don't think they would have had enough
thrown
damage.
Out. Ignar on the flank, looking for another hook. Finds Cuvee yet again. But can they finish him off? The answer is going to be no this time. Nethergrass comes through. Crown will get devoured, and Hard jumps in on the side. Absolutely destroys Tempt. Flash and Ghost be damned. He just disappears. Now Crazy getting ready for the transformation. Another one goes through onto Ruler. The stun into the wall. The Zoe is gone. Spear connects. Bono finds the kill. Both sides crippled. Super Creeps knocking on the Nexus turrets. That's going to be the Abyssal Voyage as they go back to try to save the base. But BBQ can just keep shattering more turrets.
We know Ruler's bans in solo queue for the next couple of days. Blitzcrank, after all these hooks coming through from Ignar, they're going to take the mid lane inner turret as well.
And the Mountain Drake. You can see the pings coming through. Crazy already going to start prepping that one. Denying the fourth Drake there from KSV.
9 the stacking. Does actually mean Elder will eventually be online. It's Crazy. He's tankier than he looks, of course. A lot of health bars there. We can see he's at 600, so he'll be fine.
He's even got a GA. But that would be the most feel bad moment of the day for you. If,
Dear Diary tried to solo down the Mountain Drake, went into GA. Oh, speaking of soloing,
quite a bit of damage there going through.
If another one hits,
almost had him. Last spear didn't connect. Bono just going to play it safe, wants to kite back.
Well, Haru introduced us to 3 Infernal, Black Cleaver, BF Sword, and Dustblade Rengar. He does a lot of damage.
Yeah. Tempt is very squishy. Something like Azonius might be quite good for him, but...
See, I actually think his build is correct. He's going for Void Staff last because he just wants to kill someone, and that someone includes the Maokai. If they kill the Maokai, this comp is hella squishy. Any single hook will kill them. So right now, if he goes full AP into a Void Staff, it's if you hit a hook, anyone dies. Because Malzahar will be doing 50% HP of a Maokai in one rotation. They turn onto the Baron again. TP's coming in. They're going for the contest.
Already down to half HP. Ignar doesn't want to walk into that trouble bubble. Ultimate's going to come through. The hook does not land, but the Fate's Call is there to go ahead and drag him back out. Baron, in the meantime, has reset. KSV might be starting it up. Base is under fire.
They have a lot of damage onto Baron.
Crazy going to be losing out on that Meganar. Still has the GA, but will be exhausted here for the moment. QB, the one keeping this Baron at the moment here, maintaining the HP bar. But yeah, big burst of damage going through on a Ruler. Has to pop a shield, barely surviving that one. Hook comes back in. Cube goes down. Nethergrasp in onto JJ's. He tries to run away. Silence comes through and Haru's on the backside, but doesn't really have that great of a target to jump on. It's Crazy with the Guardian Angel or Ignar who will survive the burst. That's going to be the pop.
Turret goes
but
down.
The Nexus turret has fallen. Crazy going to be coming back into the fight here momentarily. Gets rooted by the Bola.
I mean, at the end of the day, BBQ are definitely in the benefit for stalling this out as long as possible with the minions pushing in. Another minion wave still far away. KSV don't have good options.
Yeah, they have to go back to base and they're going to go ahead and they're going to start this up yet again. They just have to let this go for fear of losing the base.
Fight when your minion waves are in order. In this case, BBQ did exactly that. No good decisions for KSV. Maokai deleted because of the sheer damage on the side of BBQ. It's insane. Especially on the ability power side. Another Negatron cloak from QV to try to make himself tankier. A Void Staff on the next back from Malzahar, we expect. BBQ pushed in with Baron again. Suddenly Zoe. Very hard to clear waves. Even Ezreal. Iceborne Gauntlet doesn't do that much against the super minions, the Baroned up minions. Not much standing gold left to claim, but the gold lead is now 11,000. And KSV with a front-to-back team fighting comp just can't get them because one person getting hooked is death.
It's not over until it's over. KSV still going to be fighting tooth and nail. This isn't a moment of surrender for them.
Now gets hit by the trouble bubble.
Sees a little bit of damage there onto Ignar, but Bono at this point with all of his AP. The heals.
Man, the wall there
negating that.
Going all the way down the middle of the lane. Post-nerf, Zoe still able to hit some pretty insane trouble bubbles. Playing one lane, you can see, is not easy against this comp. Especially because Zoe's positioning can't be threatened. BBQ want to go as a 5. They really want to fish for a hook. So to do that, they need to actually provide some assistance to Blitzcrank. He can't do everything himself.
Top lane wave being brought up there by Crazy. Trying to get things moving yet again and knock down that turret. A couple hits. We'll have that one finished off. As the hook comes in, they find Core JJ. Are they going to go ahead and go all in onto this? He's just going to get popped. He didn't have a chance to pop the shield.
Silenced, I believe, there. Of course, Silence did hit him. They're going to push in. Oh, on anyone.
Nethergrass comes through. Ignar thrown in. Gets the pop up there onto the Zoe. He goes low, but has the shielding now stunned into the wall. Another hook goes wide, but Cube will get taken out. You would have to expect here. The heals coming through from the Zap Magic. Keep him alive for a little bit longer, but he will eventually die. GA gets popped there by Haru. He comes back in, Crown doing his damage to try to be just a siege tank to burst down the remaining members of BBQ. Does help them stave them off, stops the inhibitors from falling. But their backs are against the wall and not really finding a way out of the corner.
Crown just healed and Righteous Glory because, of course, it's Zoe. In a team fight, a lot happening there. I thought Ruler might have fat-fingered it, but that was a helping hand by Crown. So they back away. Inhibitor turret down, but no inhibitor down. The inhibitor respawns in bot lane. We're going to watch the Reaper here. He tries for the prediction on Zoe, gets the Tahm Kench, but Tahm Kench dies anyway. QSS early, silenced, I believe. No, the silence effect was still in the air, so that might have been a mistake. Hard to tell during all of that. Could have been the silence from Blitzcrank on the end of it as well. Any ult is golden, but they don't have any follow-up damage on Cuvée. He takes a long time to die, and Haru does assassinate Tempt in all of this.
Yeah, goes straight into the back line yet again to finish him off, and see, he survives for just a little bit too long.
And there's still Crown and Ruler with little threat on them. Turret goes down. We take a deep breath. The game doesn't end from that play.
Ignar waiting in the brush yet again. Core JJ walking up to the wall. He throws down the ward. Ignar doesn't get it. All the times that he goes for, all these times that he's been going for these predictions, the one time that it's a guaranteed hook, he doesn't take it.
The mini game between all the different damn line skill shots and also the zones and the threat of the bubble coming through is just fascinating to watch. It really is Blitzcrank versus the world. And now, KSV, they want to stay grouped up. They're finally able to push out of their base. Both inhibitors are up, so that gives them more latitude to make plays. And Elder's spawning, so this is very fortunate timing for them. They can go for this and actually contest an Elder in an even way.
BBQ going to have to fight them over this one.
So far, every single Drake take has followed the same cadence, which is the Maokai ultimate goes down, Nidalee is zoned away from Smite, and Smite comes through. See if this one is the same.
Shot barrage used there by Ruler, clearing out the wave. Trying to avoid all of the skill shots.
Ignite's gone back to the Ignite. Doesn't have Ghost for this fight, you'll note.
Nor does he have TP, so if he gets chunked out before this Elder Dragon gets started up, have to run back from base. Massive wave in the bot lane is going to be answered by Haru right now. Hook comes in, they find
the Ballista
onto Core JJ. Try to light him up, he pops his shield this time, and Ignar is the one going low. Elkai ultimate rolling through. We'll get the root in onto Ghost. Trouble Bubble, I believe, coming in as well, but he's got the QSS. He'll deny that one. No, we'll just get locked up, and we'll take that paddle star to the face. He gets lit down to below half HP.
He doesn't have Raptors to try to lifesteal off, so he has to enter and stay in the fight pretty chunked out, Achilles.
Another one going through there. This time onto Crazy. Has to build up for that Mega Narbar.
Very difficult for a Nidalee to contest against all the AoE CC here.
Elder down to half. Two-shot barrage thrown out. Temps goes low.
Are they going to give up 36% AD and AP? It looks like yes.
Spear's going to come out, but now the Smite's going to be there. Now KSV. Elder Dragon, 3 stacks, plus all of the additional 80 AP behind them. This could be their moment to turn the game around.
KSV will wonder if this was the Afrika series all over again. So much has been put on the line by BBQ. They've gone so far, but 2 inhibitors up. No ability to close the game. 3 Infernals into now 36% AD and AP. Means another 2 minutes for them to not contest. And note the most important thing about those 2 minutes. 1:20 until Baron means there will be time where to actually walk up to Baron, you will face an enemy with 3 Infernals and the Elder buff.
What a potential turnaround here. We need to see more. We need KSV to actually gain something tangible before we can really judge this, but this is certainly the opportunity that they needed to try to get themselves back into this game.
Auto crab vision, not a trivial thing, was picked up by BBQ. Thought the sapling might have stolen it away. It's Nidalee doing a lot of damage still.
Yeah, gotta say Bono doing a very good job here on his debut.
Actually sold his Rod of Ages for a full damage build. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. Still there, but all right, tense position. We watch here KSV. They want to fight front to back. Don't forget that. They want to very much try to corral KSV. Ruler can walk up. Hasn't been a hook that's been big, but because of this, QV is being forced to back. They want to stay as 5 desperately. We're seeing this push and pull when it comes to the plays around the last inhibitor.
It's a great time by BBQ here, trying to just burn down that Elder Dragon buff. As the Baron is now spawning, so 35 seconds with this for KSV to try to force the objective. Ignar is still just fishing for a hook. Trouble Bubble connecting there onto the Nidalee, but won't be found. True Shot Barrage has been used.
Does have a lot of AP, so can heal up. Will still be around. Another attempt on the Baron. Infernal, 13 seconds on Elder still.
TP coming in for Crazy. Has the full Narbar ready to go. And over on the one side, they're just going to find Ignar. They're going to light him up. He flashes away, tries to get out of their Fate's Call. Will drag him out to safety.
Well, he just managed to exit about 3,000 units there, thanks to the Fate's Call.
And not only that, but he made it out. And now the Elder Dragon buff is gone.
He can teleport back in as well. Now, there was both Bono and Ghost tied up there.
Yeah, he's got the swap.
So he's coming in.
Bono's down to half HP, 5,000 remaining here on the Baron.
Don't have vision on the pit.
Jumping forward, that's going to be the triple bubble going in onto Temp. Going to try to get that one, but can't quite find it. They get the hook in onto QV, but still tankier member here on the side of KSV. And Ghost is all by himself now. Twisted Advance comes through. The Callista will go down as QV finds the kill. Haru pushing forward. Abyssal Voyage coming in. Crown with the siege gets rid of the Blitzcrank. The bot lane of BBQ has been shattered, and now it's 3 minutes on the clock for KSV to try to close the game with this Baron buff.
When they are the ones that are actually placing the questions onto KSV, BBQ's comp is strong. When KSV has control over an objective, something they haven't had for 45 minutes, Crazy just trying to kill someone.
For the pop there, can't quite finish him off. Crown gonna be staying alive. GA comes through, gets knocked down, and Crazy is in a bad spot. Tempt and Bono do go into the mid lane. They work down that inhibitor, at least to buy themselves a little bit of time, but they still have Ruler and Core JJ up near the top lane. Haru gets locked down. Nethergrasp, and the burst damage from the Nidalee comes through and rips him apart, but now the ultimate comes through. Crown looking for the pop, finds the trouble bubble in onto one. Bono has been taken out. Crown assassinates him. That's all 5 members dead. TP coming through as KSV look to finish the game.
Might have been more highlights for BBQ, but KSV stood the course. None of those Infernals could be taken away. They got the Elder as well, and purely from Drake control and also the scaling comp, they're going to pull off a highway robbery and send us to game 3.
Yep, Ghost and Ignar are the only 2 ones alive here, but there's nothing that they can do. They get the hook, they get the Ballista to pull QV into the fountain, but the damage is done, the Nexus is exploded, and that is going to be KSV tying up this series after one of the roughest starts that I have ever seen for Crown.
And not quite as tense as the game against Afrika, but similar result. KSV well behind for the majority of the game, get over the line, but only just. No smiles on the face of KSV. Similar reactions to how they reacted to the Game 1 victory from BBQ. But BBQ remind me a lot of Misfits against SKT, where they are really rolling the dice, try to make things work. They have surprised KSV 2 games in a row, but not to the tune to actually take them out in game 2. Do they have a third new strategy, or will they try to take it standard against the team of KSV? I think if they go standard, they're going to find it very difficult, as KSV are a very well-drilled team. But I'm just excited to see what Picks and Bans brings, because we've had a really exciting series so far.
Yeah, we have Blitzcrank, the biggest surprise of all, but unfortunately there for Mad Life, for BBQ. They do not pull off the victory, but there's still plenty of highlight moments from that pick throughout game 2. But now we have to go all the way through game number 3. Seems like the curse is real here, Papa Smithy. KSV, not enough to break it. We're at 10 p.m., getting ready to go into a break, and then we will have one final game to close out the week here at OGN. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Game 3 when we come back in just a few.